What's going on, Canes fam, and welcome back. We are finally continuing the QB series that I'm doing on this channel. What I do is talk about each of the quarterbacks on Miami's roster one by one, and I tell you why that guy is the guy, the one. The quarterback that will start the 2019 season for Miami. Now keep in mind, in these videos I am giving you the pros for these QBs. I'm not talking about any of the cons or the negatives in this series, but feel free down in the comment section below to elaborate or debate on these pros that I provide, and you guys can bring up and discuss any cons or negatives as well. Now some of y'all been waiting for this one. I know you have. Let's talk about Tate Martell. And guys, before we really dive deep into this video, if you don't mind, if you haven't clicked the subscribe button, be sure to click that little red button down below. I think that it's still red, most likely. Maybe not, but it says subscribe on it. Click that little button down there. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing, but only do it if you really just enjoy college football content, because that's what you're going to get on this channel if you do that. Now let's get something out of the way really quick. For those of you who are unaware, and this included myself before I started doing research for this video, Martell's first name is not Tate, it's Tathan. But of course, nobody calls him that. Everybody calls him Tate, except for maybe his mom, probably when he's in trouble. She probably calls him Tathan. Martell is a 5'11", 210-pound dual threat QB. He played high school ball at Bishop Gorman his sophomore, junior, and senior seasons. Over the course of his 3 seasons at Bishop Gorman, Martell never lost a game. 45-0. His senior season, he threw for 2,362 yards and 41 touchdowns. And did I mention that he likes to run the ball a little bit? On top of those massive passing yards his senior season, he also rushed for a little over 1,200 yards and 21 touchdowns, which led to his 4-star ranking coming out of high school. Now, after a few weeks of spring practice, reports are flooding in that Martell seems to be one of the least accurate QBs battling for the starting job at Miami. But I'm here to talk about the pros in this video, and that actually brings me to my first one. Martell's ability to elude defenders and scramble. The game tape doesn't lie. Martell did this all throughout his high school career, and honestly, he has the speed, vision, and elusiveness to do it at the college level. Let's all just step back and be honest for a second. Miami's offensive line struggled last season. Now, will it be a night and day difference this season? I don't know yet. But what I do know is if Miami's O-line struggles continue into 2019, Martell's ability to tuck the ball and run could be huge. Martell is the kind of quarterback that doesn't need a clean pocket. I mean, honestly, he seems to thrive when it collapses and he's forced to throw on the run. That's when he's really in his element. I believe that he truly is an actual dual threat quarterback. That term is thrown around a lot nowadays, and it's because people think that to succeed in college football, it's the era of the dual threat quarterback. So if you're not labeled as a dual threat, you won't succeed. The thing is, a lot of players get that label put on them, and they're actually not truly a dual threat quarterback. That's not the case with Martell. He is the real deal when it comes to being a dual threat. And Martell can really sling a football. Just go back and listen to some of the player interviews from spring practice at Miami. Heck, even some of the interviews at Ohio State. And all the players can be quoted saying that they just can't believe the amount of zip and speed that Martell puts on the ball. Now pair that with the speedy wide receivers that we have here at Miami, and the points just start racking up. And one of the biggest pros for Martell that I really don't see discussed that often is that he has a winner's mentality. He knows how to win games, and he doesn't like to lose. This is the new Miami. Losing needs to be unacceptable. Martell hasn't lost a lot of football games in his life, and I can guarantee you that he doesn't want to start now. And And we all know that Martell's name carries a lot of hype. I mean, the dude has been on TV shows, QB1. He's always got the press in his face trying to interview him. But the thing is, he's got a certain kind of swag about him, a certain kind of attitude, and it really just fits at Miami. Whether you like Martell or not, you can't deny the fact that when his name's been called, he stepped up to the plate and taken care of business. Now, all of the QBs coming into this 2019 season have a clean slate. They get a fresh start with Dan Enos coming in, implementing an entirely new offense. All of these guys are at ground zero. They're all starting at the same level. And I can promise you it's going to be an open competition, and it's going to be a tight battle. And it's going to be real interesting to see who really just fits in best and who can take Dan Enos' system and just run with it. But those are some reasons why Tate Martell could be the starting quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes this 2019 season. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, feel free to discuss any of the pros that I mentioned in this video. And down in the comment section, you guys can also bring up any negatives or cons, and we can debate and discuss those as well. And I'm going to jump in there and argue and debate and discuss with you guys. And at the end of this series, so far we have covered Jarren Williams, N'Kosi Perry. We had covered Cade Weldon. Of course, he's out of the mix now. And now Tate Martell. Once I finish up this series, we have a few more QBs to go. I will predict who I think will be the starting QB for Miami this 2019 season. But remember though, guys, we are all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. And I'd like to take a quick moment and thank all of the Patreon supporters, these guys on the screen right here. Also, any subscribers, viewers, and donators to the channel. But these guys right here, the Patreon supporters, pledge a monthly donation to the channel, and that goes towards upgrades to equipment, prizes for you guys, and the rest of it goes to my monthly donation to St. Jude. So thank you so much, Patreon supporters.